Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out another video here on my Simply Happy Marlo YouTube channel. So as you all can see, I am going to be sharing my bookshelf with you all. Now I didn't think this was a video you all would be interested in seeing, but I actually got quite a few requests for it. So let's just jump right into the fun. And I'm going to start it off by sharing some of my absolute favorite books. Now, I do want to just add, as I'm panning out so you can see all of the titles, that I have another about 5 to 10 books that I want to specifically add to this side of the shelf of all my favorites. I just need to purchase them, and some of them are in my hometown at my house. So the next time I go home, I will be definitely picking those books up and then bring them back to add to this part of the shelf. Now I do want to, because I actually was requested by a couple of friends to share on each shelf what my favorites are. Now, of course, anybody that knows me knows my top 3 of this entire part of the shelf would be The Great Gatsby, The Giver, and The Scarlet Letter. Not to say, obviously, that the others aren't. Obviously, they're on this side of the shelf for a reason. But if I had to name a top 3, those would be it. And pan over to a couple of other favorites. Now, I'm showing these because they are favorites. They're just a different kind of favorite, so to speak. So they get a different side of the shelf, but I still obviously want to display them, and some of them were a little bit larger size-wise to not be able to display properly. And then just it looked really nice the way it all got stacked up there. And then as we move to this shelf, it is the autobiography and biography shelf. Now the reason why the book jacket is out for that one is because the book obviously isn't actually there, because I am currently reading it and is absolutely amazing. Now, of course, everybody on this shelf I'm a huge fan of, or else they wouldn't be on this shelf. And I have read almost every single book on this shelf. Some of them I purchased just because of who the person was, and that I know that I'll eventually get to reading their book. But the majority of these I have read, and some of these people I have actually met, so it was even more important to me to own some of their books. Now, of course, in the top 3 of this shelf, I would have to say, as I look over, I would have to say the current book I'm reading, Start Something That Matters by Blake Mycoskie. I would have to add on to that the Amanda Knox book, which is absolutely incredible. It's her memoir. And let's see, I think I would have to go with third option. Obviously, like I said, all of these are wonderful. I wouldn't own them and I wouldn't have them on the shelf if they weren't favorites and terrific. But if I had to pick a third, I'd probably go with Get Happy, The Life of Judy Garland. Because if you know me personally, you know that I was and am a huge Judy Garland fan. And then we move up here to the Shakespeare and Jewish section. It's a little bit on the small side, but I'm sure over the next, 5, 15, 20 years, I will add more Shakespeare books. But these are just my absolute and current favorites and the books that I own about Shakespeare. Now, I can't specifically pick a favorite of the Shakespeare books because for anybody that knows me, I'm a huge fan of the sonnets. I've had 2 memorized since I was little. So if I had to pick a favorite, I would definitely say, obviously, one of the books that has the sonnets in there. Becoming Shakespeare was an amazing book. And let's see. In there is Romeo and Juliet, which is one of my favorite plays of his. So let's choose that as my top 3rd. Obviously, that's where Roxy got part of her name, was Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. And then we go over to the Jewish section. Ooh, sorry about that. That was my finger. And I just have a lot of prayer books, as y'all can see on the right. And then some books to the left. Out of my books on this one, of course, I would have to choose The Chosen, Angela's Ashes, and the Anne Frank and Me book. I do have at home, in my hometown, the Anne Frank book, so I will be adding that one, obviously, when I'm able to go home and grab it. So that one will be definitely added. I'm not sure, obviously, if I'll put it up here or if I'll put it in the autobiography section, because that's technically where it should go, since it was written by her. But yeah, short little video to share. And that's my kind of catch-all drawer or shelf. I don't normally have a tiara just out there. I'm actually borrowing it from a friend for a couple of Reels videos on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, feel free. It's at Marlo, MARLO _Ty, TY. And the same goes for Twitter. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this pretty short but sweet, shelvy bookcase video. And if you guys want any other book related items, videos, y'all know what I meant, feel free to ask. Or if you want to know my book wish list, definitely feel free to ask that question, because I will definitely share, so you can help me to add to my collection. All right, well, thanks so much, and I will see you all soon.